or should when we're putting the CMA together?
Good point. Should.
Should.
Yeah.
Should be looking at the most relevant, closest, most recent. I mean,
Go
what?
in and investigated the house.
No, that's what we do.
Same, they do the same
Oh,
thing.
we know more, listen, we know more about houses than appraisers do.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the listing, we know more detail than they do. They're going in just to justify, verify. They're not inspectors, you know.
That's how they feel in the morning.
How clear their windshield is when they drive by. You know, that's probably about what Not really. That really doesn't happen.
Or how easy access it is, and if they're inconvenienced because they can't get in when they want to. That's a biggie.
Exactly. Okay, so so pricing, y'all are gonna take the price trend analysis class on White University, right? Say yes.
Yes,
Okay, good.
do it together.
Yeah. Might as well. Okay. So we have gotten to this point in the doors presentation, and this is where we're going to tout what we are going to do. Think about it, the whole presentation up to this point has been about the marketing plan for their home. It's been them centered. Every page was about their house and their interests. This is the first page where it becomes what you're going to do. Okay? You know, you're going to understand the market conditions of the neighborhood, keep track of the inventory, analyze feedback, et cetera, et cetera. So you're talking about your role in this process going forward. And we also have a bit of a, you know, a me page, so you can put your resume up there and talk about your accomplishments. Oops. And then these last couple of pages, and remember these big doors pages that come out, are fantastic for sale by owner pages, by the way. They're great for sale by owner slayers. Because what do for sale by owners think we do?
Nothing. Santa White.
Let's be more specific than
Taxi
that.
drivers.
Well, okay, so, but let's do this. What do sellers think we do to get their home sold?
Put it online.
Online, what else?
Take a few pictures.
Okay, well, you did that, and then we put it online. Homes magazine,
Yeah.
sometimes. Sign, open houses, maybe in the newspaper. Okay, are those the 5 basic things they think we do to market homes? Is that right?
Yeah,
Of those 5, how many can they do themselves?
all of them.
All of them. I would resent you coming and asking for $28,000 of my equity if I could do everything as well. Now, is it the truth that that's all we do to get their home sold? Say no.
No.
In their mind, the list is that long. In reality, the list is that long. Is that right?
Yes.
So no wonder they object to the commission. Okay? Now, we have expanded that list dramatically to this point, haven't we? We expanded the list up to the pricing point with all the stuff that we were going to do with Weicker and all the demonstration, et cetera, with lead network and open houses and all that stuff. So we buffered that a bit, didn't we? We buffered it. But they never think about the legal challenges and all of the hoops that have to be jumped through during the pending period, do they? They think the way it works is they put a sign in the front yard and then somebody shows up and wants it and they bring the money back later. And they get the money and then they get to leave the house. It's as simple as that in their head, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe exaggerate a little bit, but pretty close.
Very close.
Okay. Back in the old days when I was selling, I would go to sale by owners and I would say, and you know, this might still work now, but I would go, you know, if I would get into where I could talk to them and say, well, you know, I'm not here trying to list your house. You know, I want to help you. I want to be here if you give up. I want to be the person you use. But along the way, I'll try to give you some tips to help get your home sold. We want you to be successful. We're not in the business to intercept commissions that we don't need, you know, to earn, that kind of stuff. I said, but let me tell you what, there's something called buyer remorse. It's why we carry around purchase agreements, is that when we show homes and a buyer's ready to buy, we can tell. Sometimes people will talk themselves out of that good decision on the way back to the office. So we bring contracts with us so we can strike while the iron is hot. I strongly recommend you go ahead and go to your attorney. It shouldn't cost you more than $300 or $400, and get a contract made that you can have here in the house. So when someone comes and looks at it, you can go ahead and get their commitment and an escrow check. Correct. I've used that. Oh, I quit counting during my sales career how many times I went through that process. And people's eyes, they just start getting. They'll be looking down and they just start getting bigger and looking up at you. You know, with this, y'all have that experience, right? With clients, you're certain they have this clear idea in their head. You know, it's like what's that credit, those ads now with the credit report, and the girl puts her feet up on the counter and says, all you need to do now is it's like that. You know, they have that look in their eye, you know, and then you go, you might as well go ahead and spend $300 or $400 to get your turn. And then, what? You know, and then you get their attention. So this is a great for sale by owner Slayer page, but see, you also need to remember when you're not just in competition with other realtors, with people you're going over to list their home, you're also in competition with their thought that they can do what?
Do it themselves.
Do it themselves. So you got two audiences you're competing with. The internal dialogue and the other agent spewing their stuff, okay? So we gotta be on top of all this. Do y'all see how this presentation is gonna do it for you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. All right, so the pricing part, and then this page, and I don't know if we didn't send any, any of the ones I'm thinking. Let me try to describe something to you. This is in a leave behind. We may have it up here, and I'll find it at break and give it to you guys. But we have this page in a leave behind. This is showing all the things that need to get done, the process, for them to get their money. Okay, so it's expanding that list in their mind, and we have this as a leave behind where there's a little date line below each one of them. And so the last thing you do when you get to this point in the doors is you pull that leave behind out and say, let's start scheduling these things. When can we do the first open house? And you write the date on there. We should have the inspection done by X, you know, or whatever the issue is. And then you give it to them and they put it on their, you know, their refrigerator, and you say, listen, let's keep track. You'll go back in their house and they will have put dates on there for when the first newspaper ads come out or whatever, you know, whatever the event is. So again, collaborating, expanding the list to create more value in our process. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then we tie it up with the close page. There's you and the house, and this is where we're asking for the business. All right. They will most likely have, if you've done this right, you have talked through their objections by now through this presentation, and or it has just handled them. So many of the ideas in the presentation with the pictures are telling them things on their own, and so it's answering questions you may not know they even had, which is great. All right? Okay. Make sense?
It does.
Can y'all do that?
Yep.
All right, good. All right, doors. Let me pull up something else here. Open house. All right. Open houses. All right, we started with open houses yesterday. Let me hand this out here. Y'all heard me. I kept saying door hangers. Grab one and pass on, please. By the way, we had a huge spike. You know, it's hard to find people on the phone anymore, isn't it? Is it harder?
Not if you text.
I'm sorry?
Exactly.
Not if you text them. They might not answer the phone, but they'll text you.
Oh, no, I understand. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I mean getting phone numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all know what the percentage of people have landlines is now in America?
Probably less than 5%.
No, it's below 40. It just now went below 40. It was around 50, but it's going to go down to almost nothing, for sure.
Most people probably use it as like an emergency line.
That's us.
I don't keep it.
No, we
We
use
didn't even have a landline at the.
We have two landlines actually.
Recently,
Do you?
just because it
Yeah,
was
one's for
easier,
business.
it's a better deal, bundle deal.
Whoever had a party line, I had a party.
Way back.
This is bizarre.
Laura doesn't even know what that is.
The first house I remember was one of those boxes with the thing. That was the first phone I remember.
You are old.
No.
I'm 58.
I'm not even.
I'm 58, but this was very rural Kentucky.
Is that a place
No.
go?
We actually have them here too, in farmhouses, I remember.
Yeah, in the early 60s, they were still around in the early 60s. In the late
They had
50s,
the
early 60s.
operator.
That's a
Yeah.
problem.
Absolutely.
So you'd have to hang up and wait.
Yeah, that was.
So
You were a baby,
Oh,
Laura.
that's awful.
No, I would
Actually, it wasn't.
imagine.
It was actually kind of fun sometimes.
What about the confidential conversation?
There weren't any.
That you remember Lily Tomlin?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
listen to
you
Lily
gotta
Tomlin.
go
Look
YouTube
up
Lily
Lily
Tomlin. Yeah, we
Tomlin,
gotta look up her.
And it was actually called Trust. Couple we don't have anymore.
Well, and you can imagine the technology. I mean, it's like, you know, we lived down a road where there was 4 other houses.
She's a great singer.
So they ran one line, you know, you could just see it. And so you pick it up and somebody be on the phone and go, oh, you know, I remember my mom go, sorry, or Marge, or whoever it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll get it
Yeah.
later.
Yep.
And she'd hang back up.
Yeah. I remember
A long way
I
ahead.
remember picking it up and listening.
I know.
Uh-huh.
And now- yeah.
Only you, dude.
Yeah, only me. I told you, I've been nosy from the
I would
get-go.
never do something like that.
And who did anybody get a bag phone? You might have remember the early car phone?
First day they came out.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Every time.
Next week, stolen from my car.
Stolen from your
again.
Now you have a gun in the back.
Yeah.
And they would give you a map that would show the cells where you drive
They were
into.
heavy.
Oh, they were
Yes.
huge. I've still got mine. I've got like a museum of crap. You know, old stuff. I was in yeah, and then the first cell phones were like expensive. I mean, they're expensive too. They're crazy. I was in at the hotel in a stall in the bathroom the other day, and a guy next to me said, "Sally," and I said, "No, Kirk." And he was. It's just a joke.
Right.
All right. All right, so open houses. Y'all got a comedy club here around?
You.
Every now and then.
Every now and then they have some shows
They have
that
some shows.
Joe
There's a
Brown,
Rails.
but not like a regular.
Real
Closest one's like
Long-
Annapolis.
Yeah, right.
What's that?
There's one over near Annapolis, that's the
Annapolis.
closest one, yeah.
It's probably
Okay.
Redjoy. My house.
It's probably, yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's
Your
stuff-
house?
I think there's stuff up in
Now that's- let me tell you,
Delaware,
that's
University
interesting.
Delaware area too.
That's interesting you say that because I was just thinking, because one of my hobbies is stand-up comedy. I like to do stand-up comedy.
Nice.
So I go around to clubs and all that kind of stuff. And we started about 4 months ago doing live from my living room shows. And we're recording the next one this Sunday coming up. And I might decide to send y'all a link to them later on.
That's it.
It's not really appropriate stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, these are TV great guys. Like last Sunday week ago, we had Tim Northern. He was the last comic standing finalist 2 years in a row. You know, this kind of stuff. And so we had fun. So that's interesting. You said my house.
Live.
Yeah,
Literally do that.
we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, back to real estate. All right. So open houses. Look here, guys. Open houses, the Weichert lead generator. That is crucial for you to understand. Matter of fact, we sat in here yesterday and talked about important things like where's the open house schedule board going to go? Did we put it up or is it?
We
just
put it
picked
very close to where it's being put
up?
up.
Okay, good. And let me tell you.
It's pending.
It's pending.
It has migrated.
Okay.
It's on its way.
Well, we did, you know, it's so funny, people from the outside look and they, you know, I've talked to other business consultants with other brands and stuff, and they say, yeah, okay, stuff. And I said, yeah, we're real concerned about our boards being installed properly in the office. You know, they go, what are you talking about? You know, it's these little bitty, teeny tiny details that make up the effort. And we're all human beings and we are reminded to do right behaviors when we have visuals around. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's why the open house schedule board's going up. We're going to talk about that. Now, these PowerPoint slides are wordy as hell. I'm going to be reading all of them. I'm going to get the essence, and don't freak out as I go through some of these slides pretty quickly. You've got all of this dialogue and all of this available to you, okay? But I want you to get the essence of how you're going to be interacting with open houses, and we need to get this started, and we've set our first weekend for the
13th and 14th.
13th and 14th, which is going to be 2 weeks after the impact, which is June 1st, when we come out. That's Weichert. All right. Okay, so just real quickly, we're gonna look at expectations lead to results, how open houses work, prepping, conducting it, and then following up. Remember, indoors, we have the before, during, and after. Remember that? Remember that little list on that page? That's what this is. The before, during, and after, okay? So, we know, based on our tracking, 1 out of 3 Likert open houses results in a sale. 73% of attendees attend at least one open house. I'm sorry, 73% of home buyers visit at least one open house. So the majority of people that wind up buying a home visit an open house. It might be after you've already met them through the lead network or somewhere like that, and you have coached them through the buyer consultation how to go out and visit open houses without creating a big cluster. Y'all with me? Okay, so you've coached them on that, but most people will visit open houses, okay? Many potential buyers and sellers attend open houses to interview sales associates. Duh! Has anyone ever, have y'all had that awareness when you're doing open houses?
Yes.
That probably half the people coming through have as their major motivation that day, honey, let's go find an aggressive realtor. You with me?
Yeah.
You are on stage being evaluated by everybody that comes in, whether they're just looking to buy a house or to use you as a listing agent, okay? Open house guests are usually more motivated. 3 out of 4 people who attend open house will buy within 6 months of visiting an open house. So it's important that we follow up with everybody that comes through. The more accessible a home is, the easier it is to sell. Give me an example of, somebody tell me an area where a home would be that would not be good for an open house in your market.
Marydale.
There you go.
Lincoln Street.
Wild Marydale.
It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Out in the middle of nowhere. So it's just too rural, it'd be hard to get people to go out there, okay? But imagine the directional sign strategy. Could that bring ne'er-do-well, or whatever you said that was?
Marydale.
Could that bring
On the border of Maryland and Delaware, Marydale.
Clever.
We are. We're so clever.
It's like the.
Well, the other one is
Have you ever
Del
been to the-
Mar.
You ever been to the
Del Mar.
Flora? You ever been to the Floribama bar? There's a bar on the beach on the coast. The line between Alabama and Florida goes right through it. It's the Panhandle. It's awesome. So it's like that. Okay. All right. So back up here. All right. Open houses. So anyway, houses have criteria. The ones that we're going to set up to open house. Some are eligible. Some aren't. When I asked you yesterday, we were talking, and I said, "How many listings do you have in inventory?" And it's like about 60. How many are eligible for open house? How many do we get? 14 or 15?
Yeah, 10.
10? Yeah. Now, but we may stretch that perception after we talk about it today. You know, y'all may have creative ideas of how to bring houses that normally wouldn't be eligible into eligibility for open house, okay? So open houses maximize the amount of showings and minimizes the inconvenience to sellers, right? A friend of mine in Louisville right now had the worst Memorial Day weekend. He had to leave his house about 5 times because he's on the market, and realtors were working, and they kept calling. It was just a pain in the butt. It was a pain in the butt. They kept coming to my house to hang out, while they were doing the show. And I, barely like the guy, so whatever. So, all right, so signs and balloons are the most effective way to attract guests to your open houses. They are like internet SEO pointing to your open house. Get that? Isn't that great? Y'all know what SEO is? Search engine optimization. So balloons are like that for your open house, directing people there. Pointing your open house, they're building positive brand awareness, etc. In convenient open houses, dates for the next 60 days. Now here's another process. Management's going to send you guys an email 2 or 3 weeks before the next quarter starts. You follow? And ask you, what dates are you going to do open houses over the next 3 months? You don't know what listings you're going to do yet, but we're going to plan the days that you're going to do open houses. So you look at your family schedule, your work schedule, and you go, I'm going to do, and we're looking for 2 a month minimum. New people are going to be doing 3 a month until they get through their basic training and tutelage. But we're going to ask you what dates, and then we compile those dates, and then we can start matching. We can start matching listings that are needing to be held open with agents who need a listing to hold open. Newer people that haven't gotten listings yet, okay? So that process is gonna go on, and we can have this huge